Well, welcome. It's time to get started. I've been hearing for the last couple of days at the booth, people are like, we've got a lot of people coming around asking about PowerShell. There's going to be a lot of people who show up at this booth wanting to know all of the answers. So here it is. This is a session on the unified PowerShell experience for Microsoft Graph. This is a preview. It is an end-to-end experience, but we still have a whole lot of work to do. One of our goals is to allow community to go out, try it, give us feedback before we lock down on any kind of final result. This whole journey started pretty much a year ago at Ignite, where people kept coming to the booth saying, we want to be able to do PowerShell to be able to access this part of the graph and that part of the graph. And there are some parts of the graph that have PowerShell, but not all of it. So let's pause for a definition. You've probably, if you've been in any of the Microsoft Graph sessions, seen this slide. Microsoft 365 data that describes the patterns of productivity in an organization accessed through a unified API endpoint. Well, that's great if you want to call using the HTTP API, if that's the way that you want to call. But what happens if you want to call that API and get access to that data via PowerShell? We don't have another experience. We don't have a complete unified experience in PowerShell. And when I started talking to people about this is what we should go ahead and do with building PowerShell, I got the question about, well, what another one we already have? Well, we've got an Intune PowerShell. If you go to the PowerShell gallery and search on Microsoft Graph, there's a whole bunch of options that say that they are for Microsoft Graph. We only have partial solutions though. And it's confusing because some of these say that they're for Graph, but that is the old Graph Office Graph and AAD Graph before it became the unified Microsoft Graph. And there's obviously an itch that is being tried to be scratched because look at all these community efforts. People have been trying to build a PowerShell story for Graph. But Graph continues to grow. Every week we release new endpoints, new operations, new things that you can do on the Graph. It is not realistic for us as Microsoft to expect the community to be able to keep up and provide an end-to-end solution across all of Microsoft Graph. So I'm from the Microsoft Graph DevX team. We own the SDKs for C# and JavaScript and Java and Objective-C. So we already have a generation pipeline to build SDKs across all of Graph. We didn't have a PowerShell solution. And there were some technical challenges to being able to do it. We generate off the graph metadata. But there is another project that has been going on in Microsoft over in Azure land where they have built a PowerShell generator using Autorest, and they are starting to use that generator to generate all the control plane modules and SDKs to be able to access Azure. So we said, okay, well, let's leverage that. We want to be one Microsoft. Why not? Why reinvent that wheel? So the first problem we had is, well, we don't have an open API description, which is what Autorest needs to be able to drive it. So we worked on generating open API descriptions based on the graph metadata so that when that new data comes out each week with the new metadata, we can automatically create a new open API description, feed it into the Autorest generator, and generate these Graph PowerShell modules. So you can have always up-to-date PowerShell modules for not only the V1 endpoint, but also for the beta endpoint, so that you can actually start to test the new stuff that is coming out. Now, those PowerShell modules are just kind of one layer of the picture. We layered this on top of our .NET Core SDK. So this gives us cross-platform. It gives us a platform that has been tested. It does billions of calls every month to the graph, and it uses the authentication libraries, msal.net. So if you're using MFA, that is all going to be supported. Other kind of conditional access will be supported. And as we add new capabilities into the .NET Core SDK for the C# developers, these features will come automatically to the Graph PowerShell modules. But wait, hold on, people would say. This is generated PowerShell. PowerShell developers don't want just spewed out code generated stuff. They want rich scenario driven stuff. And that's right, we do recognize the fact that there are many cases where you want a richer scenario driven PowerShell commandlet that might make multiple calls in order to achieve a particular goal. Fortunately, the way the auto-res generator works is it creates a set of generated primitives and then allows you to layer on top additional custom modules. And we can do little renames if the things don't feel very PowerShell-y. We can rename things to be more natural. And this is all happening out in our GitHub repo that is in the Microsoft Graph organization. So we will be building, based on your feedback and feedback from the product teams across Microsoft Graph, richer commandlets in order to address the more specific use cases. But there will always be that set of primitives to fall back on, so that anything that you can do on the Graph API, you can do using a PowerShell module, a PowerShell command. We will be publishing these to the PowerShell gallery. The plan is at the moment to publish out a Microsoft Graph Beta and a Microsoft V1. Today we're only publishing Microsoft Graph Beta, and this is kind of, there's two benefits to this. One is a reminder that it is a preview. Please don't use it against production data. We're looking for your feedback. We're looking to help you guide the direction of this set of libraries. And eventually we'll push out also a V1. There is actually an auto-res feature that's quite nice that allows you to set a profile and actually download one module and then just switch backwards and forwards between the two. Because beta is really a superset of V1. But that's enough slideware. Let's actually go to a demo and see what this thing looks like. So I'm in VS Code here, and I found they had a very nice little scheme that makes it look like the ISE PowerShell environment. And first things first, well, how do you get this? At the moment, these packages are on a Azure website NuGet feed that we've set up rather than pushing them out onto the PowerShell gallery for the moment. So please be gentle on the Wi-Fi here as you pull it down, because it is currently about 220 megs worth of PowerShell modules. We think there's some things that we can do that are going to make that come down a little bit in size. Once you've set up that repository, you can then install the module, and it's one line, install module Microsoft.graph.beta. That does actually bring down a whole set of modules. And if I were to go to this line here, you can see, if I run that find module, we can start to see some of the modules that have been created and give you an idea of the scope of what is there. Obviously, we've got the SharePoint, we've got groups, we have files, but some of the smaller areas, the bookings, we've got education, we've got Intune, we have a whole bunch of identity stuff, including the newly released application API is in here. All kinds of stuff is available for you to play around with. All the Teams stuff is in here. There's close to 2,000 commandlets at the moment. So sometimes finding things is a little bit of a challenge. Let's go look and see what we can do, say, for example, with licenses. So you can get access to licenses assigned to service principals, licenses assigned to users. You want to create tasks to remind you to do things. Outlook tasks. All of these commandlets are available for creating task folders and task groups and the individual tasks themselves, and they will immediately show up in your Outlook. If you want to access Teams, I know Teams does have their own PowerShell module, and we will be working closely with those folks to try and merge the efforts and provide a consistent experience. The advantage here is you have one token, it's one sign-in, and then you can interact with the rest of the graph. It's the same story that we've been telling for 4 years about the Microsoft Graph and the benefits of having one unified story. So these are things you can do, but how do you actually get started? Well, it's fairly straightforward. Connect Graph. That's how you do it. Connect Graph is going to, at the moment, it's going to ask me for a device code login. Remember I said this is a cross-platform. It uses .NET Core, so this will run on Linux, which means it also runs on the Azure Cloud Shell. So if you're doing Azure management and doing graph management, you can work in a single environment in the Azure Cloud Shell. I'm going to grab this device code and flip over to a browser. We will be able to make this have a pop-up sign-in. It's just in order to get that UI to pop up in a cross-platform way, there's a little bit more work in it. We had other things to fix. So I'm consenting to basically the default set of permissions, which really is just user.read, which actually isn't going to be very helpful for me, because even if I do the most basic command and do get user, it's going to say you have insufficient privileges because I'm trying to get all of the users, because they are named with a singular command, just like all PowerShell commands. So in order to be able to get more information, I need, when I'm doing the connect, I need to grant scopes that I want to be able to have this PowerShell commandlet, or the PowerShell shell, be able to access. So I've picked just a whole bunch of here that will allow the demos to have to work. Because I'm consenting to more things, I need to go back to the device code flow login. And I'll go back to the browser here and just do the dance one more time. And say a little thank you to the network for holding up for me. This time, obviously, I'm consenting to a whole bunch more things. And this will allow us to have a bit more fun. So now, if I do get user, I'm going to do get user. This is going to be a really ugly experience. We have a whole lot of trues because we don't actually yet have any default format table definitions. There is mechanisms in AutoRest to be able to do that. So I actually have to remember to type select. And I can get the list of users that are in my tenant in this particular case. Okay, so my tenant, what other information? Oh, before I go on, I'm now signed in here, and I have that token is actually cached, so that I can actually exit out of that terminal, then come back in later and just say connect graph, and it's not going to make me go through that device code flow login. And it has refresh tokens because we're built on msal.net, and therefore it'll be able to refresh it after the hour when the token expires. So we get all of those kind of benefits to make it easy to work with. But let's moving on to the tenant information. See what kind of information I can get from here. Clear that screen. So this is Contoso. It's a demo app. It's not got a whole lot of information in. I have the Contoso display name. I have some business phone number. Not all that interesting. But there's more stuff. I can go and look at the tenant and say, these are all the assigned plans. These are the things that are enabled, the capabilities that are enabled on this particular tenant. I can see, using the new application API, I can see what applications have been application registrations have been enabled on this API and what their reply URLs are. I can see, using service principals, I can see which applications have actually been consented against my particular tenant. So in this case, I have the Graph PowerShell actually showing up as an app that has been consented against this particular tenant. And creating things is just as easy. You do new application, and it's going to create a new application on that tenant. Provided you provide the minimum required fields, and luckily for application, it is only, all we need to do is actually provide the display name. Obviously, configuring it to do other things, you're going to need to provide other properties. So let's look at, because the graph is a lot about information about users and groups, and we have the PowerShell commandlets to be able to access those. Getting a user, I'm going to go here and I'm going to select here and access a set of users in an organization and show where their office location is, what their business phone numbers are. You'll notice I stuck that -top 999 because those results that come back from Graph, they're paged. We're working in the same way that we're working in the API. You'll run into the same problem if you go get a list of users using the API. You'll only get a page size. So I made the page size bigger. We haven't yet enabled paging within these commandlets. AutoRest does provide a support. We have to put some annotations in the open API. Should be fairly straightforward, but I would love your feedback with regards to what is the right way to expose paging through collections within a PowerShell environment. I can now say, okay, well, I've got a list of employees, a list of users here, but let's use a little bit of a where object to find out where are the users that don't actually have an office location assigned. Well, it turns out it's not actually a user. I have a conference room here. This conference room Baker, I happen to know that it is in building 31, so I would like to update that. So let me just grab that user ID. And just so that it works with my script, I'm going to assign it to a variable. There's a user ID, and I'm going to give a new location equal to 31. And now I'm going to run this update user, and that's going to go and update it. And now when I go back and I run the get user, I should see that Baker conference room, there you go, conference room Baker now has 31. And it's just that easy to update objects within the Microsoft Graph. Now, sometimes when you're looking through the API, there will be objects that you are required to pass. And sometimes there are multiple complex types you're required to pass. And what the Autodesk team sort of recognizes a lot of times when working with PowerShell, it's kind of a bit of a pain to construct those objects. So what they've done is, where possible, they've flattened them and turned them into parameters. So a lot of those complex objects are just simply flattened into a set of parameters on the actual object. Makes it really easy to update a whole bunch of properties. For some scenarios, you will need to actually create an object, and it's just as easy as using the curly braces to create a hash table, and there are type converters to convert them into the appropriate object to be able to work. So let's go look at groups here. I can get a list of groups. I can see what the group types are that are available. I can go and get, if I grab one of these groups, grab an ID here, and I'll put it into another variable. Oh, I need quotes around that. There we go. And now, let's see. Now, if I go and now run this one, I can go and see, you'll start to see the richness of the data that's coming back. There are a whole slew of properties that come back related to this particular group. Now, some of those values will actually be empty, and this is, again, a concept of the API, and that sometimes you have to explicitly select a property or expand for it in order for it to be able to come back. And we have a lot of the same OData conventions. If you can do -order by, you can do -order by in the PowerShell commandlet. And for those of you like, yeah, I just don't want to know about all those complications with the APIs, well, yes, we will layer more natural, richer, scenario-based commandlets on top of that. You can also get relationships. So we can now go and get the owners of a particular group. So the thing is, those owners that come back, those are coming back as types as directory objects. So they're really not very interesting because it's just an ID. I can actually take that ID, iterate through those directory objects, create this another object that I can then pipe into the get user function, and now I can get back the display name and the email address of that particular user. And I could do the same thing for group members. There we go, I got a group of members. I could be able to pipe that through to get user and get the same information there. If I want to get access to email, I can do get user email. If I want to create a new group, it's as easy as just saying, here, create new group. I can now add a new member to that group. Let's find a user first before we add a new member to that group. Let's go back and do get user. Oh, I messed up my, got to be in the right window when you're editing this stuff. Get user. I got to actually format it. This is going to drive me insane enough that I'm going to go fix this real soon. Display name. Okay, so let's go grab a user. Let's try Emily here. And we'll put this into user ID. And now, let's go to new group member. Now, before I run this command, I want to make a little comment about this command. When we did the generation, because of the way that you add members to groups, this didn't actually generate. So this is actually a custom module, a custom object that has been added in after the fact, hand-coded. But it is a completely natural experience. You can't tell the difference between what has been auto-generated and what has been done by hand. And there you go, I added the new member into the group. And if I now go and view the new members of that group, oh, I was supposed to get the group ID back and then run the new member of the group. Because of time, I'm going to have to let you trust me on this. All of these snippets are going to be put into our PowerShell gallery and into our PowerShell SDK repo. So they'll be pushed up there later this afternoon, and you will be able to try that. I'm just going to switch back to the slides for 1 second. And give you this last slide. So, our call to action here is please go register, point to that Azure NuGet package, the NuGet feed, install the beta module, try out some commands, give us feedback in the issues module, the issues in our GitHub repo, and that's it. Thank you very much. Don't forget to look into the certification programs that we now have available, and please provide evaluation on this session and come visit us at the booth.